Welcome everyone. I hope you had a brilliant game week 11. What? You didn't? Yeah, it was crazy. So let's have a look at it and look at my team going forward as well. I mean, where do you start with that game week? that I mean, it started off for me. It actually started okay because I had Guahi clean sheet, although he got a yellow card, 5 points, and I think I had Bowen 7 pointers because he scored a goal. I mean, never seems to get bonus, but he scored a goal. So what more can you ask? And then Haaland blanked, and everybody's everyone, all the non-Haalanders like myself, are rubbing their hands together, thinking, "Yes, we've got a real chance this week to actually make up some ground, or do well." I mean, that was in itself that was a bit crazy. Was it 5-1? And he didn't do anything, and Alvarez didn't do anything either. So I mean, that's a win for me because I haven't got either of those players. But I mean, anyone had Doku was laughing, and then everyone's thinking, well, Salah's surely going to do something against Luton, and gets 2 points. I myself captained Darwin for 2 points, double to 4. So and everything that what could go wrong seemed to go wrong. Areola for me, 1 pointer. I mean, Turner was benched, so it wouldn't have made a difference if I'd have played him because Areola would have come in for only 1 point. Cash went off, I think it was about the 58th minute with an injury. So he didn't get any points, which blocked Trippier on my bench with a 9 pointer. I knew I should have played Trippier, but the other fixtures looked really good as well, and it was Trippier. I really thought that Arsenal were probably going to score against Newcastle, and they didn't. So Trippier 9 pointer sat on the bench. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that mine was the worst game week. I got 28 points. A Green Arrow was 31. That is how crazy it was. And so 28 isn't that bad. I was saying it was a pretty good week to have a bad one, if that makes any sense whatsoever, because pretty much everyone had a bad game week. I think my mum had 45 points, but she's got a really non-template team. Her team is her team is actually. Let's see. I'm going to put it up here. Here we go. So this is my mum's team. I don't normally put my mum's team on here, but I just thought it was funny because she managed 46 points, so it was one more than I thought, actually. Her team is far from template, and in fact, she makes a choice to only have British and Irish players because, we are British, and she decided that's what she wanted to do. It's quite a handicap, and I think she just got fed up of everybody in the league having Haaland or Salah and things like that for the last few years. So that's what she's decided to do. She did really. I mean, I think she will have had a big green arrow. Her team is not well ranked, and as you can imagine at the moment, but in this week did well. 6 pointer with Pope, Trippier 9 points, Guahi. I mean, she even had Palmer on the bench there with 12. Was it 12 or 13? I can't see. I need my eyes testing. With 12 points, and captaining Watkins still managing 46 points. So makes me feel like a bit of a I'm a fraud anyway. I don't know what I'm doing, but she managed what 18 more points than me. So it is what it is. You just got to really laugh, and I kind of enjoyed this week. I thought it was. I laugh at things like this, so it was just funny. There's no point getting upset if you do badly in a week like this because I think pretty much everyone has. I saw one team with 5 points because they had Udogi and Romero. So both players sent off for -4 each, -8. I think they'd captain Saka for 4, so that was wiped out by those minuses. 5 points. So, anyway, let's have a look at going forward. Hopefully, there will be it will be an improvement this week. I mean, it couldn't get much worse, could it? So let's have a look at the team. This is my team at the moment, and yeah, so there are a few injury concerns at the moment. So yeah, I mean Turner was benched, so I don't really have a choice on the goalkeeper. It will be Areola against Nottingham Forest, unless I make a change, which is unlikely. At the moment, Cash and Byrne are both injured, so I need to work out. Yeah, I need to pay attention to that, see how long they're out for. The one that's out the longest might be the one that I then move on. If I need to move one of these players on. So I've got 2 free transfers at the moment. Trippier's playing Bournemouth away, so that's a decent fixture. Although Newcastle have quite a few injuries at the back now, with Byrne and Botman both out. Matt Target is out as well. So it'll be interesting to see who they play at left back, or whether Trippier will move across to left back and they play Livramento right back. If they do that, that might restrict Trippier's attacking threat. And yeah, but so he's going to probably stay there at the moment for the time being, because got other issues to deal with. Alexander Arnold plays Brentford at home. Maybe not the best fixture defensively, but hopefully he might get some attacking returns before the Luton goal. And this is the thing: don't check these things before the clean sheet. But before that, he was on for 9 points because they had a clean sheet, and he was on for all 3 bonus. Obviously, then they scored the goal, and he only got 2 points for me. So never mind. At the moment, that kind of punt for him at the moment isn't really paying off. He's got a couple of clean sheets, but then Simicaz has as well. I was thinking of a move where I take him out for Simicaz, and then that would have meant I could afford Saka for Chukwuemeka. But Simicaz was benched, so I don't like that move anymore, because I don't know whether or not he's going to be played going forward, or whether it's going to be Gomez, or whether he'll be rotated. Yeah, not really sure on that. At the moment, I mean, Maddison came off injured, so need to see how serious that is. If he is injured for kind of medium to long term, he's probably a pretty easy transfer out. I can afford Saka, so I could do straight to Saka. Salah. Now, on here, I've got Son as the captain. That's what I was thinking before. But if Maddison is out, and Spurs have got quite a few players out there, Udogie and Romero will probably be banned for that game. And Van de Ven was injured too. I know it's his defender. So I think Son is probably not going to be the captain. Maybe I'll look at Salah. I could look at Ferguson or Watkins possibly, but Salah might be the kind of default one that I go to. So Salah against Brentford. Bowen playing Nottingham Forest. I'm really glad I brought Bowen in when I did a while ago. He's done well for me. He's ticked over with some decent points. And Ferguson. Now, this one, last week, it looked like a bit of a mistake because I'd brought Ferguson in. I was thinking what I would have done was swap Chukwuemeka for Mitoma, and to get the funds for that, I needed to downgrade Salah. Sorry, not Salah. Not Salah. Downgrade Solanke to basically, I think it would have had to be Mubama, a very, very cheap 4.3 attacker, like a bench fodder, as I've got there with Chukwuemeka. But that would have meant I'd have Mitoma. Now, Mitoma scored the flukiest assist you've ever seen. Just smashed the ball against Ashley Young and looped up into the goal. Horrible own goal. Not his fault at all, but kind of really fluky 6 points that he got. And Ferguson didn't do anything in terms of points for me. But because I did that move, and this was part of the thinking, yeah, there is some thinking to what I do, honestly. Well, part of the thinking was I could get a Brighton attacker in for only one transfer, because if something starts to go right, it's amazing how quickly these things can unravel, where you suddenly have to make a lot of transfers with injuries. At the moment, I can make one transfer here and still have a play in 11, assuming these all start. I know there's like some minute doubts with possibly Ferguson and Darwin, but um, yeah, that's not in the worst position in the world. Watkins plays Fulham, and Darwin plays Brentford. So Ferguson plays Sheffield United, which is a fantastic fixture. So hopefully he starts with that one. And then I'll just have to have a look and see what I'm going to do with these other defenders. So it will probably, my move will be one or two transfers, depending on the seriousness of those injuries. Probably one transfer, but depends how. Yeah, it could be two. Could be two. So I kind of started talking about my transfer plans there. Um, it's pretty much going to be a replacement for one of the injured players. So it will be maybe the one that's the most injured. If Madison is fine, then I won't take him out. And if he, I mean, maybe if he's only out for like say a week or something, it might not be worth taking him out. If he is, well, even in that case, actually, if he's injured at all, if he misses a game, it'd be pretty easy transfer to just switch him to an Arsenal attacker. So Martinelli, Odegaard. Is Odegaard still injured? I'm not sure. But in all honesty, it would be Saka. That would be the one that I would go for. So that would be a good replacement, and he's got good fixtures going forward. I, if Madison is not injured, then I want him going forward because he's a really, really good player, and he's just taken over with all these points all the time. Although he does seem to have these injury niggles every now and again, so maybe that's something to just keep an eye on. Yeah, so that would probably be the case. Arsenal look like a good team to replace some of these defenders with. Maybe I've so if I don't do the Madison move, I could afford. Now I might be able to afford both. I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite looked at this, but it depends which defender I switch out. I think Burn is the longer term injury, but need that confirmed. If he is, then I could just do Burn to Saliba. I think Saliba's probably well. Actually, I think the best Arsenal defender to get is White, but he's 5.7 million, and I don't think the difference in price is worth it. Saliba's 5.2. Could get Gabriel. He's just. I don't trust. He just seems like he might randomly be benched for no reason. So I don't really like that move. Who else could I get? So do a, I could do a sideways move with cash for another Villa defender. Villa's fixture's about to turn a bit trickier though. Um, could do Burn to another Newcastle defender. Lascelles 4 million looks like a great move, but the problem with that is how long is Botman out for? If Botman is back soon, then that just creates a straight away another transfer that we've got to do, because we would imagine that even though Lascelles has played quite well, he will be out of the team once Botman is in. So you could go for one of the whichever fullback you think is going to replace Burn. But again, who is that? Is it Hall? Well, he plays left back, yeah, so it could be Hall. Livramento came on to replace Burn and played on the right. So will it be Livramento on the right? Will they rotate? I think they've got some other. Is it Kraft, the other one? So basically, with the uncertainty of who's going to play there, I don't want to go anywhere near the Newcastle defence, and because Botman could be back sooner than predicted, or within a few weeks when I might need these defenders again, then I don't really want to go for any of those. Arsenal look like a decent defence to maybe go for. Who else? Maybe a Wolves defender. Crystal Palace. I've already got a Crystal Palace defender. So I would have said Simicast, but Simicast was benched. Gomez, we don't know whether he's going to, how likely he's going to keep playing there. So, and I already have, and I can't really do that anyway because I've got 3 Liverpool defenders, so I don't know what, I couldn't do that. So it looks like I'm probably going to get an Arsenal player in, but it's whether it's going to be an attacker or a defender, maybe. So, what are your moves? What are you going to do? Let me know, and I look forward to reading the comments.